Kiss.
Yo, it's your boy, Mike Smith, also known as A-Kiss, also known as the coolest guy in sports. Back with another Who's Better. This time I have Dennis Schroder versus Eric Blesdoe. Who's better between the two? Dennis, in 65 games this year, averaging 28.8 minutes per game, averaging 15.5 points per game, 41% from the field, 33.2% for the three-point line, 3.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 0.2 blocks per game, 0.9 steals per game, 81.6 from the free throw line. Eric Blesdoe in 66 games has been averaging 29.2 minutes per game, 15.8 points per game, 49% from the field, 31.7% from the three-point line, 4.7 rebounds per game, 5.4 assists, 0.4 blocks, 1.4 steals, shooting 75.7% from the free throw line. That being said, who is better between the two? Now, both of these players are very similar if you ask me. They both really excel at getting to the paint, slashing the ball, creating opportunities for others and their teammates. That's why this is really a tricky situation, because even though Dennis comes off the bench and Eric Blesdoe starts, they're averaging around the same minutes, and basically their point total, their field goal percentage, Bledsoe's has a better field goal percentage, but that's about it. Everything is kind of neck to neck. That's why I was a little skeptical of the Milwaukee Bucks kind of signing Eric Blesdoe to a 4-year, I believe, $70 million deal. And I was kind of like, they should have kind of waited for the offseason, because they could have got a upgrade in the point guard position. They could have maybe signed D'Angelo Russell, maybe even signed Kemba Walker. They could have waited to see if they could have got a upgrade at the point guard position, because he's basically doing what Dennis does with OKC, and Dennis comes off the bench playing behind Russell Westbrook. That's what I'm saying. Eric Blesdoe is a starting caliber point guard, but Dennis Schroder is a starting caliber point guard in this league as well, but he's just coming off the bench because he's playing on a championship contender. Eric Blesdoe could come off the bench playing on a championship contender, but he just happens to start. So, who's better between the two? I mean, it's kind of a toss-up. It's really what you prefer. Do you prefer Eric Blesdoe, who is the better two-way player than Dennis, and Eric Blesdoe shoots better from the field, and Eric Blesdoe kind of doesn't take the wild shots that Dennis takes occasionally. Dennis comes off the bench. He leads the second unit for the OKC Thunder, and he takes a lot of questionable shots, but he can do that being the second guy off the bench, and he's really not the go-to guy like he was down with the Atlanta Hawks. So it's kind of like, what do you prefer? Do you want the offensive spark plug off the bench, or do you want the starter that's going to basically play defense, hustle, get his shots when it's needed, not going to do too much to mess up the flow of the offense? Both of these players are definitely underrated. Both of these players bring value to their teams. But if I had to pick who's better between the two, I would give the slight edge to Eric Blesdoe just because he's a better two-way player than Dennis. Dennis is younger. I still believe Dennis will have an opportunity after his contract is over with the OKC Thunder. I'm sure he's going to want to go and start somewhere, but who knows? Maybe he likes coming off the bench playing behind Russell Westbrook. They kind of fit, and also sometimes they're on the floor together as well. Dennis is quick, and he's a sneaky defender as well. He's lengthy. He guards. He plays well. He plays hard. So it's kind of like, pick your poison. For the future, I would rather have Dennis, but as of right now, I still think Eric Blesdoe is better because, like I said, Eric Blesdoe is the better two-way player. Eric Blesdoe kind of fits the role with the Milwaukee Bucks. Even though if I was the Milwaukee Bucks, I wouldn't have signed him. I would have waited till the offseason to give him that contract, because you could have kept Eric Blesdoe kind of like in your back pocket, especially when there's guys that's going to be out there at the point guard position that could potentially be an upgrade for the Milwaukee Bucks. Maybe they don't want to upgrade. Maybe they want a guy that knows their role. Maybe they want a guy that's going to, fit in with the Giannis Antetokounmpo and what they got going on, and have Giannis be the number one, superstar option, and then just have a bunch of solid starters around him. Maybe that's what the Milwaukee Bucks were going for. But me personally, if I had a chance to sign D'Angelo Russell or try to get Kemba Walker or one of those guys, I would have kind of waited to sign Eric Blesdoe. And if I didn't get one of those guys, I would have waited and said, okay, now we're going to sign Eric Blesdoe, because I think he still would have been around, because he's had, a pretty decent season in the NBA. Even they could have probably got Terry Rozier, who kind of lit Eric Blesdoe up in the playoffs. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent this season. So I'm just saying, it's kind of like, They got Eric Blesdoe. Eric Blesdoe is getting older, and I don't know how his game is going to translate to the future. That's why a 4-year, $70 million deal, even though it can be considered a bargain, is so many guys they could have got instead of him younger as well that kind of do the same thing or maybe even a little bit better. Some of those guys, but I have to still roll with Eric Blesdoe over Dennis. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below who you rolling with. Eric Blesdoe or Dennis Schroder. This is your boy, Mike K. Smith, also known as AKS, also known as the coolest guy in sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to stay updated on these videos. Also, join the movement. Bifo family, basketball fans only. Let's get me to 1,000 subs. I'm going, man. Peace.